He's up by 10 supply now.
Wow, 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 wow. Double units lost for Hero. Whoa, he's like blinking after those stalkers. It's so funny because Parting, he's not using sentries, not really using a lot of zealots, just getting mass stalkers with one or two immortals. And the immortal, they're kind of like the lightning distractor. They're channeling the lightning towards them, focusing the attacks on themselves, whereas the stalkers of Parting are just growing in number. He's not losing a lot, and he's killed a lot of Hero stalkers. And really, that moment where Hero blunk up into the natural and try to be fancy, kill the immortal and blink away, he lost too much there.
You know, Hero's aggressive tendencies here are really not working out for him. You know, he's always getting so aggressive in this matchup, and the fact that he is just constantly put on this pressure when he's just so far down in units, it doesn't make a lot of sense because Parting is extremely good at micro. He's like the micro version of Squirtle. So to do this against someone who can play a defensive game, who can micro at a similar level to you, Hero is making some questionable PvP choices here.
Yeah, and that's sometimes Hero's greatest strength. The way he took out Squirtle in the GSL match 2-0, he had some fantastic micro, very, very aggressive, and sometimes it will just kill your opponent. But if it doesn't work, sometimes you're just digging a deep hole for yourself, and it seemed like Hero was just making it worse with every subsequent engagement. And now he has to sit back here and hope that he can survive this onslaught.
Well, it looks like he's going to poke up that ramp a little bit. Not a good time to walk up against those sentries, zealots, and everything, but he is getting blink. So when Parting has blink, he's going to have complete map control. He actually has 13 stalkers against just 5. Shouldn't see any more stalkers here from Parting. So he's in a good spot. As far as probe counts go, he's up slightly, but he has had that second Nexus for a while.
Yeah, and sometimes when the economy situation is so low and when there have been so many fights, neither player really feels like going for a robotics bay. It does happen, but it leaves a little bit of a window, kind of similar what we are recognizing from PvT, where you make that Colossus switch too soon, and the Terran is like, all right, I'm going to pull all my SCVs and do an all-in from 2 bases. That can sometimes happen with massive amounts of Blink Stalkers and Immortals. There's no room to go for Colossus.
Well, Parting is, in fact, going to go for one of these timings that you were just talking about, Grubby. He is adding 2 more gates, bringing himself up to 5. His Blink is almost done, and that can only mean one thing. He is going for the kill here.
Yeah, in the next 1 or 2 minutes or so, we will see the game-deciding engagement. Hero is choosing to go for the Colossi, but his army is left much weaker. He's also a little bit supply blocked, and he's doing an harassment, so his army is going to be tiny compared to Parting's. Parting is going to blink in and most likely do exactly what we just discussed, punishing a player who is trying to tech too hard in a nail-biting situation.
And that is exactly what we're seeing here. Parting with way too many stalkers, just erasing the Immortals in a couple of volleys, everything going down, probes being pulled. Doesn't matter at all, and Parting definitely looks like he has got this game already in the bag.
Yeah, Hero's mistakes getting the better of him in this game, and Parting choosing to finish off in the best possible way, which is with a massive Blink Stalker attack. He wins that game, GG, Parting up 1-0, and Hero is on the precipice.
That is right. Hero is 1 game from elimination after making it all the way to the winner bracket final, even defeating Parting on his journey. He's down a game now and just so close to being out.
Yeah. So what do you think Hero is going to be doing in the next game here?
Look, Hero gets too aggressive. He thinks he can do more than he can against a player like Parting. You know, let's say that he's playing against Squirtle. Maybe it works out better in those early engagements because Squirtle, self-admittedly, does not really have the best micro. That's really his weak point. But Parting, he's a different beast altogether. They might be on the same team, they might use a lot of the same builds, but Parting, one of his real big strengths is actually in his unit control.
Yeah, I think so too. When I played, the first time I really played Korean Protosses on one of the big stages, it was when I qualified for an MLG championship, and I got drawn into a group with 2 Terrans and also Parting and Oz.
Yeah.
It was a huge learning experience for me as a Protoss and a PvP player. I ended up losing 1-2 to Oz and 2-0 to Parting, and I think Oz might have beaten Parting in that MLG.
So that was back before Oz said he was the best PvP.
It was right before.
Ah.
Yeah, right before that. And I mean, I wasn't that impressed by Oz, which is why I thought it was so funny when he said that statement that he did, that infamous statement. But Parting, I was so impressed by him. He had such a good micro. His strategies were really basic, but his micro was the one that was shining. So just to reaffirm what you've been saying about him, I can totally attest to that.
Yeah. So, I mean, Hero ended up going for it. I loved his initial tricks. Okay, they were so intelligent. The initial trick of going for the 11 gate, he got scouted, immediately got the gas, restarted probes, and went for Blink.
Yeah.
But then he went into Blink Observer, saw what his opponent was doing, and still went for it against someone who's making a lot of units, has a Nexus, is making Immortals, and that's going to be really hard to break, especially on Entomb Valley.
Yeah, probably either he should have engaged a little bit better with the engagement at the natural, which was difficult to pull off, or just get the Nexus first. It's so scary to go all in sometimes when an expansion could put you almost on equal footing. He's still ahead in workers, so he would have been in probably a little bit of an advantage position, actually.
I agree with you so much on that, because if he just throws down a Nexus when he sees what's going on, even if his Nexus is a little bit later, he already has the probe advantage, right? He has Stalkers out, he has Blink, he has an Observer.
Yeah.
He has complete map control and a similar economy.
And what's going to happen?
How is that
then?
bad?
Yeah, that's not bad at all, Artosis.
I'll take it.
Yeah, I'll
Every
take
time.
it too.
Let me start every PvP like that. I swear to God, I'll be the best PvP player in the world.
And what happens is, if Hero is still posturing with his Stalkers with Blink outside of the base of Parting, and Parting doesn't realize that there's an expansion coming up behind it, Parting is not going to be making as much probes as he could get from 2nexi. In the meantime, Hero, putting on the pressure on the opponent's front, he can Chrono Boost from one Nexus and outproduce the probe production from Parting from 2nexi. And even get further ahead economically.
It's well, I hope that Hero does a bit better this time. He is opening with the 13 gate, so it's not going to be that same strategy once again. The map being Ohana. I want to know, what do you think that we're actually going to see out of these two players here?
I would expect both to open skipping the Zealot, going for a double gate triple Stalker rush out, and then I would expect maybe Parting to follow up with 2 sentries and get a Nexus, and then Robo. 2-gate Nexus Robo.
You know, that's actually, I would say that's the most common build I see from Koreans on this map.
Yeah.
You know, the 2-gate expand, it's pretty safe here. It's easy to force field the ramp that goes up to the natural. I like what you're thinking here. Oh, Liquid Hero just dropped a pylon. Look at where he dropped that pylon. Now, this can do 2 things. This is cool. I love this right now. Okay, I'm getting wiggly. I want to talk about this. First off, if he does get scouted, that's kind of sneaky, because you might look, you'd be like, where's your other pylon? What exactly is going on here? Are you proxying a Robo or something like that?
Yeah.
That would probably be your first thought. Of course, the other part is I have seen before from, in fact, Oz, putting his Twilight down there so he can go for like an instant DT. Because if you put your Twilight in your main right after your Gateway, right after your Cybernetics core, the probe can still scout it, and then they know they can narrow it down and get an Observer.
So you can get like a 6-minute 55 DT or something like that.
You can get such a quick DT off of a build like this, but I don't know that that's what he's doing, but I'm excited to see if maybe it is.
Now, Parting's build here, he delayed his second gas and got a second gate first while making a Zealot. So he's going to go Zealot, Zealot. The 2 gates are going to be ready to produce right on time as that pylon finishes. And then he's going to make 2 Stalkers, and he's probably going to Chrono Boost them out. So what that gives him is a very quick, in fact, the very quickest double Zealot, double Stalker you can have on a normal build. And he can use that to go across the map. What usually happens is that you have more units than your opponent. Maybe you win the fight a little bit. You're not going to win the game, but you can also force your way into the opponent's base and thereby get some information. Now, that's not what's going to happen. He's actually not making any more probes, so I think he's going to go to a 4-gate.
Yeah, he definitely looks like he can, especially since he's taken some of his probes off gas. Still getting a healthy gas intake of 4 probes total mining, so that's going to allow him to bruise nothing but Stalkers if he likes.
Okay, he's not going to go for a 4-gate. All right, so he's getting a very fast warp gate upgrade and then warping into Stalkers, so he's going to be like 2 Zealot, 5 Stalker or something?
Yeah, it looks like it. You know, maybe just start tanking off the damage with these couple of Zealots, and when he warps in those additional Stalkers, that is going to be pretty powerful. But in fact, some good micro so far by Liquid Hero, and look at that split. Almost.
Yeah, almost got away. Never forget.
Yeah. Oh my god, and here we go. Parting coming up the ramp with a very sneaky probe here. He wants to get down some pylons and force his way up. And against someone who's already made sentries, if he can do that, it's so powerful because these sentries are terrible heads up.
That's a weird. Oh, okay, all right. So yeah, that sentries are terrible in a direct confrontation. So he needs to take down those pylons. I think that's the only pylon that was the enemy pylon. That's his own. And now he's gonna have to force field again, trying to take down that pylon on the low ground there. Parting. What is he gonna do? Is he warping into stalkers at that proxy pylon? There we go.
Yeah, and Hero right now has actually gotten enough sentries that he's pretty set overall. He's killed off the pylon. He's even letting units up. That was a little bit much to let units up, but it looks like with his good micro, it's not going to matter. He's not going to lose anything here. And a really good job. Oh my god, that was actually almost a big mistake there.
Yeah.
But luckily for him, Parting's way too smart to try to walk up that ramp right then.
What is Parting doing? He made a Twilight, then he cancelled it, and now he's going double Stargate.
What?
He's gonna...
Oh, man.
I've seen this only once before, and it was in my game in the MLG qualifier against Roxkiss Pommy. Going double Stargate at like a random time.
Yeah.
Making double Phoenix from one base. That's insane. And he's doing that because he saw so many sentries.
Yeah, and you know what? That's really intelligent. In fact, I've seen this, I think, from Hero, actually. I want to say Hero, but I saw it in the GSL before. But it was in response to a different type of build.
But isn't it from 2 bases?
I've seen it, I believe.
Like Choya does that.
I think I saw it from 1 base in response to Phoenixes while he was expanding.
Okay,
I believe, but
right.
This is weird. This is really weird. You can't really keep up chrono double Stargate production for very long.
He just
on this
got like
all.
1 Phoenix extra fast.
Oh.
And that's gonna be about it because his gas is depleted. Now that's gonna be super cool. The Warp Prism comes in, it dies. It dies to the Phoenixes, and everything inside will die as well quite easily. Hero, what is he making? He's going for Robotics Bay, Colossi. Pretty cool to have mass Phoenixes against that, no?
Seriously, he's making an immortal? That doesn't do much against Phoenixes either.
Oh my god, he thinks he can do a lockout here. There come the Phoenixes. This is like so unfair for Hero in his heart. This is so silly that suddenly there would be Phoenixes, completely unexpected, and it's gonna work out fantastically for Parting. He needs to keep those Phoenixes alive so that he can take care of those sentries, but basically this Hero army will be dying quite easily.
I mean, as far as strategies go, Parting has the upper hand here for sure. Hero trying to make the best out of a bad situation. Nice force field going down, but targeting as many probes as he can. Unfortunately for him, we have a really healthy probe count already from Parting. Not going to make a big difference.
Yeah, nice job though by Hero. How many probes did he kill? About 5? Yeah, he killed 5 probes. Not bad. It's better than killing nothing, for example.
Yeah, that's true, but now we have a lot of Phoenixes against Robo plus Robo Bay Tech. This is rough for Hero, and in fact, he's going off 1 base into the Twilight as well. Not my favorite counter to a build like this.
Yeah, but I don't know what else he should be doing. Maybe like get just stuff and an expansion.
Yeah, I think once you see this many Phoenixes, I feel like you just have to throw down a Nexus.
Yeah,
and
luckily he's doing that.
Yeah, he is indeed. He'll probably start Blink right away. Yep, down goes the Blink.
So now we have a lot of probes being killed in return. 9 probes killed by those Phoenixes, which puts the probe count at 26 even, square even. Parting has the supply lead. A lot of that is Phoenixes, which currently don't have any attack power. And we also see Parting pushing from the front there with his Gateway army. Hero needs to try and drag this out into a longer game, where eventually he can say, okay, you can't all-in me anymore, now I'm going to start making my Colossi.
Yeah, I feel you're completely correct, but the problem that I see here is, with this many Phoenixes being produced, he's going to have to keep a large contingent of Stalkers around, and when you have a bunch of Stalkers, the Phoenixes are easy to use as active units all game long, whereas the Stalkers, there's a few things you can do with them in the late game, but overall, they aren't a unit that you want when you're drawing out the game.
Yeah, so that's true.
It could be rough, man.
Yeah, now that Parting has his expansion secured, he's going to be looking to throw up the extra assimilators soon so that he can either transition to Colossi, whereas Hero will still be making Stalkers, or he can continue to make more Phoenixes.
You know, I wouldn't mind to see him go, maybe a couple Immortals just in case there's some strong counterattack from all these Blink Stalkers into those Colossus that you were talking about. He has so many Phoenixes right now, and in fact, looks like one will be picked off there. Nice blink in from Hero.
Oh, he's going to lose another Phoenix, most likely.
Oh, it looks like he's going to take down some of these sentries, though, on his way. Some probes as well. A lot.